Dialectics and systems theory. Saint Simon and a single law. 1. Saint Simon, 1765 to 1825, was born into a French nobility. However, like many other Frenchmen at the time, he rebelled against both the church and nobility. 2. He is generally seen as one of the precursors of the systems theory. He is also one of grandfathers of modern socialism. Although Saint-Simon never actually used the word socialism, its first use appears to be in 1827 in an overnight publication in England, and in 1832 a Saint-Simonian publication in France. Saint-Simon in 1824 clearly defined the ancestry of the word socialism. Quote, all who played a role in the revolution, first as patriots, then as Bonapartists, today claim to be liberals. The founders of this party are men whose principles aim to overthrow every possible government so that they can take over themselves, whereas the majority of this same party are inclined to establish the most stable and the most powerful government provided that it clearly acts in the national interest. End of quote. Hence, liberals are the immediate precursors of socialists. Later, this term liberalism has become old and stale, and today we recognize it as the capitalist party, that is, the party of John F. Kennedy, Oliver Stone, etc. In the USA, it is to the left of the Republican Party, but still is conservative. In general, we should observe that terms decay and come to mean regress rather than progress and revolution. Such things happen to terms such as socialism, Christianity, etc. 3. Saint Simon's first published writing is his Letters of a Geneva Citizen, 1803. There, the most interesting part is concerned with the procedure of science. This consists in the process of collection of facts, their verification, and an attempt to unify them all through a rational system that fits best. Engels placed Saint-Simon on the same level with Hegel in regard to his encyclopedic knowledge. Saint-Simon, in Mémoires sur la science de l'homme, proposes to unify our knowledge in the following words. Quote, we have, I repeat, continued and improved the work of the Saracens, but we have not allowed the idea of several laws to develop into the idea of one single law, or at least we have not yet reorganized the scientific system and the system of application in accordance with the conception of a single law. The general system of our knowledge will be reorganized on the basis of the belief that the universe is ruled by a single immutable law. All the systems of applications, such as the system of religion, politics, morals, and civil law, will be placed in harmony with the new system of knowledge. Here we see a program for knowledge for centuries to come. The ancient world, from Egyptians to the Romans, developed from polytheism to monotheism. The modern world, which starts with the Arabs in the Middle Ages, developed conceptions of several laws that govern the universe. And so our task is to develop a conception of a single knowledge out of the several branches of knowledge, similarly to transition from polytheism to monotheism, and hence develop a single conception, maybe a single law, which would explain all the various and manifold phenomena of the universe. 5. The last work which Saint Simon published was The New Christianity in 1825. There, he proposes the basic goal for the society. Quote, all men must behave as brothers towards one another. This sublime principle contains everything that is divine in the Christian religion. End of quote. Thus, we see that all men are brothers, a slogan adopted by early socialists, has its origin in Christianity as shown by Saint Simon. What must be done? Quote, religion must direct society toward the overall goal of the most rapid possible amelioration of the condition of the poorest class. This is socialism in Saint Simon. It is socialism that necessarily takes on a religious outlook at first, later to progress to a kind of philosophy, and still later to development of scientific outlook. Engels's later works point to socialism progressing behind science, towards a single doctrine of knowledge. See Anti-During and Dialectics of Nature. 6. Saint Simon started to attract disciples towards the end of his life. In fact, this seems to be a law. A person of genius won't be recognized in his own lifetime unless because she or he sees too far. An exposition of Saint Simon's ideas was given by his students in 1828. These students were usually from the then new École Polytechnique, hence may truly be seen as standing on the frontiers of knowledge. A large number of these students later went on to become leading scientists, industrialists, and financiers. One of them was Auguste Comte, a founder of positivism. 7. The students underlined the need for a unity of science. Quote, who are the scientists who classify this disorderly pile of riches, i.e. facts? No great theoretical synthesis has been produced for more than a century now. No overall conception orchestrates their efforts. Each one goes his way pursuing lines of inquiry that are surely most useful and interesting, but without troubling himself to see whether a related science has not done something that might illuminate his own research. As a result of such a one-sided approach, we have sterility of learning and insignificant results. 8. That is as far as pure science is concerned. But, quote, the most important, the greatest application of science should be in education. 9. Finally, the lecture of 1828 once again restates for us how Saint Simonians understood the goal of society for the present time. Love of fatherland, that is patriotism, a pure sentiment which has inspired so much noble dedication and so many generous sacrifices, must disappear in the face of a sentiment that is purer, greater, and more fruitful, the love of the universal family of men. Hence, the brotherhood of men, about which John Lennon sings in 20th century in the song Imagine, takes its roots from the Saint Simonian doctrine.